I'm not sure if this particular video has been debunked before. It's a video of Hovind who rants about why he thinks evolution is a religion. And this particular user, EricBowser111, for whom this is a direct response for, seems to assume that everything Hovind says in this video is absolute truth. And I'm here to explain to him why the most basic of errors that he makes are enough to propose that this particular character, Hovind, is a liar and a fraudster.
And I believe about 6,000 years ago, God created the heaven and the earth, like the Bible teaches. You're going to say, and where did God come from? And I don't know. But you said 20 billion years ago there was a Big Bang.
A professor of physics would never say 20 billion years old. It's common knowledge amongst those even with the slightest interest in cosmology that the universe is around 13.5 billion years old. 20 billion is an error of over 48%. Where he might have had this discussion and simply lacks the capacity to retain basic information, or is simply making shit up as he goes along. Let's watch and find out.
And you don't know where the dirt came from. So basically, I believe in the beginning God, and you believe in the beginning dirt.
Hovind, if your audience was scientifically literate, even on the most basic level, they would be laughing at you, not with you. The claim that the universe began with dirt is false and rather ironic, considering the biblical claim that God made Adam from dirt in the first place.
But see, both views, creation and evolution, are inherently religious. You have to believe in creation or believe in evolution. The difference between the two, though, is very simple. The evolution religion is tax-supported. That's the difference. By the way, if I was to make that bottom chart the same scale as the top chart, the bottom chart actually needs to be 2,100 miles long.
You don't have to believe in either or. You either believe in creation or understand evolution. And of course science is funded by taxes. Discoveries yield beneficial and practical applications to the society that funds them. Well, hey, scientists aren't exempt, unlike certain creationist and religious nutcases, Hovind and certain other individuals. And actually, your bottom chart needs to be 1,420.45 miles long. And nice, excellent video planning and editing skills there, EricBowser111. You've even added a little cough in there for us. Nice of you, thank you.
So I asked the professor, where did the matter come from? He said, I don't know. I said, well, sir, would you please tell me where the laws came from? The universe is run by laws, gravity, centrifugal force, inertia. Who gave the laws? He said, we don't know that either.
Matter condensed from the soup of energy after the Big Bang, so we do know where matter came from. If your question was energy, it would actually be valid. And why does there always have to be intent in the formation of the universe? Why the why? Asking who created the universe is a question designed to only give you the answer that you want to hear. Who created the universe isn't reasonable because you have no means to show that it required intent in the first place. Questions in themselves cannot be answers, and you can't argue from ignorance and proclaim that your superstitious beliefs hold true because no other explanation may yet exist. So, I dare you give me an example of a natural claim that has ever been supplanted by a supernatural one. Name me just one.
The professor said, yes, I understand about the conservation of angular momentum. I said, well, good. I'd like to ask you a question then, sir. If the whole universe began as a swirling dot, like you said, why do two planets spin backwards? He said, that's interesting. I said, no, that's more than interesting. It's kind of hard on your Big Bang Theory. Not only that, 6 of the moons are spinning backwards. Why?
Planets form from the spin of their host star, not from some directional force by the Big Bang. Most planets, apart from Venus and Uranus, travel in prograde to the Sun. That is, that they spin on their axes the same direction the Sun rotates. But the development of the solar system, as known by most children, isn't a smooth process, and planets face catastrophes that ultimately change their behaviour. Allowing for the retrograde motions of the planets Venus and Uranus, for which Uranus's moons also travel prograde to it, but retrograde to the Sun.
Now, here's one thing that the Christians need to understand, and yes, I'm a Christian. Genesis is a remake of Earth, because you create things from nothing. Now, Genesis, something was already there. The water was there. So Genesis is actually a remake of Earth that likely something happened. Maybe there was a pre-Adamic angelic war or something like that. Not quite sure. It'll take a little more research, but definitely the Earth is definitely older than 6,000 year mark. 6,000 years is just remake point. Yeah, it's just a remake point.
Did you just state that something can come from nothing? Interesting. Well, I'm glad you think the world is more than 6,000 years old, but how much older? Also, how do you plan to do your research? Will this involve any scientific testing and gathering of data to back up your claims if you suppose them to support your notions? Or are you going to take a subjective view on the biblical verses? The very fact that so-called top creationists cannot get the basics right just proves that they aren't in a position to review evidence-based material by those that have actually got an education within their respective fields. Kent Hovind clearly made things up as he went along to give his audience the impression that he challenged and stumped a Berkeley professor. This is clearly fantasy, as Isaac believes in a deity and the Bible.